There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
United! Good morning, people. It's match day. Get your endorphins, opium, hopiums, whatever the hormones. Rise and shine, people. It's morning. Stretch your arms and legs. Welcome back to the channel MUFC Realistic. Mick Ruby, of course. Who else is here to gas it up on a match day? I know, fans, it's been a very horrible week, and a horrible week for fans. We're getting beaten to the pillar to post, the media, the cuss-cutting and everything that's been going on in the club. Oh, God damn it. What's going on at Carrington? What's going on at Mayfair? Staff is getting redundant. Soon you have to bring on your own tea bags. If you want to go to the toilet, don't flush to number 1. Wait for number 3 because we are cutting cost, peeps. But anyway, Ruben Amorim has spoken in the embargo section, of course, and everyone has been talking about Rasmus Hojlund. Should we sell him? Should we keep him? Should we loan him out? Guys, at the end of the day, poor Rasmus, I just feel for the guy, arguably to say that it's not his fault. He's too young. He's still 21. But at the end of the day, the stats is damning. I'm thinking we're talking about 16 games and 0 goals and assists and suffering at the moment. We got to have a conversation, sensible conversation regarding this. Because at the end of the day, we are playing a game today. And who is going to start? We see that Cheetah Obi Martin is knocking on the door, playing as a fiddle striker. I don't think that Cheetah would start this game today against Ipswich. It would be an absolutely perfect opportunity because we're playing like it's a relegation battle against Ipswich. Kieran McKenna is rocking in. And I don't know. I think it's too early for Cheetah to give him a start. So I believe that Rasmus Hojlund will be given the nod today and Cheetah Obi Martin will come in, at this second half, because that's the proper way to blend in a striker, a young striker, which is something, in my opinion, we never did with Rasmus. Rasmus was never supposed to be the leading striker. If you know, you know. For me, that summer when we actually recruited him, we spent silly money. I think we got Rins for 75 million euros. And that's like for an unproven entity. But at the end of the day, the main objective was to get Harry Kane in and a younger striker. That was always the case. But we know what happened. I think that might be also the second season syndrome for him. But also the root cause is also he's not getting the service. That's what many people are saying. I mean, in my opinion, we've seen him. He's fast. He's athletic. He can score goals with unbelievable goals. He's got that technique in front of the box. But at the end of the day, you got to play the ball to his strength. What he's been tasked to do lately is to be like WWE wrestling with the fullbacks, the giants. Yeah, he's a big lad. He's not still developed. He's 21 years of age. But, we're not really putting balls to the channel for him to chase and run. We're not putting really cross into the boxes where he can receive the ball. And that kind of explains, in my opinion, why the stats are looking like it is. I mean, we're talking 15 goals, 0 assists. And, of course, as a striker, your confidence is low. But I created a poll for you guys because at the end of the day, instead of being reactionary, you got to look at the root cause and I said, what is causing it, right? He's still young. There's still development in him. And I remember when I was 21 and playing football, I was nowhere near ready. I wasn't even wet behind my ears. Little do I know how to date women. You know how it is. You still have the pimples. You're still breaking out from your teenage years. And you're still growing into a man, But anyway, guys, good morning to you. Who is in the building this morning? We have Ricardo Pereira. Good morning, Ricardo. How are you doing? Are you having your coffee, my friend? Cheers. How are you doing? I'm having a double espresso. And Barman, what you saying? Barman said, I love Cheeto Obi Martin to come in together with a couple of academy players. And what you're saying, continued saying, Rasmus is almost playing back to the goal. In his first year, he was more of a natural. 100%, Barman. You know, if you compare Rasmus this season to last season, Rasmus was more playing in front of the goal, but now he's playing with his back against the goal, playing more deeper. And similar traits like when you're not getting service, you become a hurricane, you drop down deep just to get the ball, right? So he ain't really doing us a favor, you know. And everyone knows that, you know, we don't have a creative midfield. We don't really service the channels. Potentially we are struggling. Good morning, Stephanie Griffith. How are you doing? Al Mack is saying here, good morning. Jonathan David is a free on transfer, will score more goals than Hojlund. Well, what is the Al? What is the age profile of Jonathan David? You know, it's probably not a bad shout, but is it the profile that we really, really need just because it's free? You know, it probably would do, but I don't want to do that mistakes. And Ruben Amorim's been kind of caught out, like, you know, being the spokesman of the Ineos because nobody is speaking to the fans. So whenever there is a press conference opportunity, he speaks. I remember when in the first embargo, they asked him about, like, you know, the staff, you know, and he fell for it. And he kind of said it was due to the performance and the lack of bad recruitment. But you should have said, well, the clear and obvious, the elephant in the room has been the Glazers. You know, they've taken all this debt out of the club. But no, this is something you cannot say 100% because everyone knows that is the root cause problem and why you sort of have to do the cost-cutting measures at the moment. 250 more people to lose their jobs, and more fans are getting, match-going fans are getting, you know, not happy. You know, that's why I always say, like, how do you feel to be a Man United fan today? I know I've spoken to a lot of match-going fans, season ticket holders, and a lot of them are actually giving up on the club. Not Manchester United, but the club. And the club in general is who runs it. You know, it's the Ineos, it's the Glazers, and we've just been given up. Even myself, like, you know, feels a little bit weird to support, right? And especially when you do have, when you look at it, like, you know, if I may say so, if I may speak freely, everything that's going on right now, Omar Barada's statement, the cost cuttings, you know, and the statements to say we're still going to continue to provide world-class service towards our sponsors, screams of ineptness to understand, well, who is your consumers? You know, if Manchester United is a brand, who is the buyers? And that is the match-going fans. The fans are all around the world that's tuning in to watch Manchester United play. And the players are the product. So your problem is more to sort of do the cost cutting and focus on the commercial brands that will give you more revenue, but you keep forgetting about the consumers, the people that are buying into it. And people are just fed up to go and see that crap football, right? So if your product is all that sudden crap, they will stop going, right? Even match-going fans or season ticket holders, they can't be asked. They're just going forced to go there just because they have to. But you could just walk in, walk out. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like, you know, it is a little bit dire at the moment to be a Man United fan. I do understand. Hence, I always ask you, the guys, the question that's tuning in the VR. How do you feel today, right? With everything that's going on with the club, is there a light at the end of the tunnel? Is the youth what we can sort of be excited about? You know what I mean? Paul Lucas is in the house. Good morning, Paul Lucas. What you saying here? The point of wrestling is to create space, not to tangle up in a WWE match. Yeah, 100%. You know, and that's why you're still learning to be a wrestler, right? You know, That is not his strength at the moment. Like, you need to bulk up and go to the gym. The point of Rasmus Hojlund's strength is to receive the ball at his feet, at his channel. You know what I mean? The word frustration is an understatement. That's how you feel, Stephanie. And I think that most of our fans feel right now a little bit frustrated. So all we can do as a community is to provide a little bit positivity, because we've been sort of, I mean, media is having a field day. They're the only ones that are having like a laugh at the moment. And I received a lot of messages from friends of mine that say, I'm switching off. I'm not going to watch any more United, because what's it to watch? Potentially Europa League, but then there'd be a negative to say that we don't have a chance anyway in the FA Cup and Europa League. And the underarching statement also that came out further down from Omar Barada, that we are banking, this calculation of the cost cutting is that we are banking to be in Europa League. It's not Europa League, it's actually Europe in the next 4 years, So Ruben is trying to increase the value of Rasmus before sending him out the door. That's what you think, Jarle. But there, of course, there's been some speculations floating around for past weeks. I don't know if that is kind of blowing smoke up your ass. Regarding Osimhen, there was some Turkish publication that said it's 90% done. Potentially, Man United has had these conversations already, like, with Napoli in January window, but they couldn't do the deal because he wanted to sort of complete his loan spell deal at where is, I think it's Galatasaray at the moment. But and there was some other reports saying that they're willing to do a swap deal, like Rasmus Hojlund to Napoli, and we get Osimhen. But I'm a little bit opposed to that. Like, I would rather see, like, get an Osimhen, keep Rasmus Hojlund, get Hojlund developed as a number 2 striker, learn from Ozzy, oi. Yeah? Because still, or potentially to see that Rasmus is not good enough, and we will bank to have Chidobe Martin as number 2 and Xerxes as the shadow striker. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you're thinking. Almac is coming in to say, to contribute that Jonathan David is 25 years of age. He has scored 12 league goals and 3 assists in League 1 this season alone. So that speaks volumes. And again, that comes down to our striker. 15 games played, 0 goals and assists. And that's a little bit, I don't know, I feel for him. Like, it's not really clicking in. And as a striker, as a youngster, 21-year-old, if you're not scoring, if you're not getting service, he hasn't scored since December. Of course, the confidence is draining out, And this is where fans are very vicious. Man United fans, Twitter fans, all on social media fans, they are very, very, how do I say, lynch mob, right? And I get it. I get that. We always looking for the quick fix, like we are some drug addicts, yeah? We get that fixed by saying, oh, we're recruiting Rasmus Hojlund, or we get this striker in, get this player in, get the player out. You know what I mean? And we get that fix, and that happens. But as soon as that fix runs out of your body, you start to get cranky and calling certain people out. You start throwing your toys on the pram, and you start calling it out again. Like, it's not good enough. Get him out of the door. You get that fix again, and then you're happy endorphins X, Y, Z. But anyway, it is what it is. That is a fan base. What's up, realist? Well, I'm good. It's match day. Am I excited about this game? Finally, a little bit of a game of football. Like, as I said, it's been a 1 week of constantly abuse from the media and the club and whatever is going on. So we just got to step in and be a little bit positive and look at it from the bright side. I know the Premier League is over. I know we're sitting 15th in the league. But if you look at the top 4 race, oh my God, I think there's 10. The top 10 can still get into 4th place, and City being on the 5th. So that is very exciting. Us, I don't know, man. For me, it's just utilizing these games as a training game, right? To sort of get results, and just utilize every single energy in the FA Cup and Europa League. Because guess what? If we win that Europa League, if we come to the final, we do have a chance to get into Champions League. But to get into the Champions League means that you need to go in the recruitment market or understand which of the under 21s and the academy players can be utilized as first team squads. So that's where Tom Charlton's coming in to say mass clear out in the summer. but selling players are going to be key because we are broke. Yeah, and that is like, there's a little bit banter going around, like, there's videos going on, like Sir Jim Ratcliffe is serving, like, chicken McNuggets to the players. There's been some videos floating around that, don't use one tea bag, save your tea bag, use it 4 times when you're having your tea. And there was also some banters going, like, don't flush the toilet when, wait for number 2, the second person to flush. This kind of bants at the moment is floating around. And yeah, we are in a really, really desperate measure mode. It's like, we basically saying we are fucked and we are trying to save this sinking ship. So if fans are getting, like, it's getting to us, man. It's on our cost. But the problem is, what you're creating this culture, this environment, you get no loyalty. Staff are the ones, the service in the place and everything else. And if you're cutting down the lunch at the cantina, boohoo baha, like, tell me, like, anyone in your workspace that provides you free lunch. Yeah. So fine, you can bring your own, they will provide you fruit, like, and stuff like that. But players needs to be fed. Everyone knows we need to have proper nutrition. So I'm not really opposed to that, like, but I mean, it's just becoming very toxic in the workspace. So if you're working for Manchester United or any type of organization, if you already start having the toxic culture that that people are getting redundant, am I the next in line? And they are, there's messages coming out from the CEO, whoever leaks out any information about the club, you get sacked. So yeah, this creates a little bit like, why would I work here? Like, this is shit place. This is a workplace. And at the end of the day, culture trickles down all the way to the dressing room as well. Like, so this affects the entire team as well. Big up, Jarle. I mean, why would Conte want Rasmus when he got Lukaku? Is Conte a Manchester United fan and wants to help the club? Potentially. I mean, Conte, he likes Premier League players. He likes a little bit of older profiles as well. So if he wants him, he can have him. I'm not sure, but he has to pay up the dineros. You know what I mean? Paul Lucas is saying, I'm not sure what Xerxes is. He's not number 9. He's not a number 10. It's kind of a 9.5 or an 8. I don't know. He's floating around. But, for me, I see him playing in one of the double 10 pivot roles, right? Dropping down deep, linking up the play. He's not the fastest player. He's not the pressing kind of type, but he's so technical with the ball at his feet, and that's what he's good at, right? And, service Hojlund, service the winger, service out there, and just arrive late into the box. That's his role, right? He's very effective, but depends on if you build a squad around him with technical ballers as well. But currently we don't have that. Leo Caesar in the house saying, what are you saying? Rasmus missbedömer ofta. Oh, wow, this is in Swedish. Oh, let me practice my Swedish. Luckily for you that I'm Swedish. Rasmus missbedömer ofta och är en hårsmån för sen inom straffområdet. Han har fel timing. Han behöver utvecklas i en annan miljö. Mick's got talent. Leo, big up my Swedish brother. You must be Swedish. Let me translate for the community. He says this is my assistant, Misha. Yeah, sorry. This is my cat. If you hear him. Yeah. Can you translate? Okay. Leo is saying, sit down, please. Be patient. Okay. You like Rasmus? Yes, you like Rasmus. I know. Yeah, you like him. Okay, Mish, you're right. Listen, don't spoil my stream. I'm going to translate Mish, cat. Settle down. We're going to play soon. Okay, we're going to play soon. Okay. All right. Rasmus, he says that. Let me translate this to English. Rasmus usually misjudge the situation and is always like a tad too late within the 6-yard box. He has wrong timing, according to Leo. He needs to develop in another environment. So big up Leo Caesar, and I'm sorry for my assistant. You want to see my assistant? Hey, this is my assistant. What a catastrophe, peeps. Smash the like, by the way. Do not forget to smash the like button. YouTube is all about likes. It's free content. Hit the like button. Hit the like. Settle down. Settle. You want to score tonight? Okay, you're going to score. Anyway, what the hell are you doing? Okay. All right, so we get a lot of love here from the cat as well. He likes Rasmus Hojlund, by the way. Barman is saying it's even clear what expected from Rasmus. What is his instruction? I cannot understand from the game. But there's a point is, guys, that, usually I see it from a 360 angle. I agree what Leo is saying as well. He needs development. But if you look up, who to learn from, who to develop from, you're 21 years of age. You don't have a Cavani, you don't have a Zlatan, you don't have a Ronaldo, you don't have that type of player that can nurture you and teach you. You look up the oldest player, and that is a Xerxes, and he's not even number 9. So basically, you become 21 years of age, the most senior striker that the club have. So Leo Caesar is saying, hey, förresten från Kaifun. Hey, from Kaifun. Big up from Kaifun. Where are you from, my friend? Are you Swedish? Whereabouts in Sweden? Okay. Let me go dive into the comment section. Barman tonight is Sociedad versus Madrid. I'm tempted to watch it to see what we are in Copa del Rey. Yes, good. I mean, Sociedad. It's always been our struggle. Whenever we play the Spanish team, we're struggling, right? Let me see. People would accept Hojlund as development project at 20 million, but for 65 million pounds, expect a prolific goal scorer for that price. You expect results. But that is the problem, Almac. We got absolutely rinsed at that time. John Murta did a nightmare, right? If you remember. They Atalanta, I think it was Lee Congerton, the sporting director over there. He absolutely rinsed us out. How can you price a 75-year-old potential striker to put a price tag on 75 million? We only scored 9 goals in Serie A. This is unprecedented. You know what I mean? But we were inept and we were desperate, and they utilized that desperation and they rinsed us. The same thing happened with Anthony. 95 million. Is he a 95 million? Well, potentially he is racking up his value in La Liga at the moment. Let me go to Boxing Strange Talk. What you saying? Xerxes is a strange player. He's good, stood still, but cannot play as a fast-paced game. Yeah, I agree. I don't think he will ever adapt to the league. And I was frustrated with Xerxes in the first half last game, right? I mean, there's moments where he absolutely had a stinker, and he couldn't even find the feet of the players. It was like playing like a blind Stevie Wonder on Xbox settings, like misplaced passes, absolutely had a stinker of a game. You know what I mean? But so did everyone else in the first half, except Patrick Dorgo. You know what I mean? Let me go to... You also have an assistant. Yes. Oh, Swedish, and I live in Thailand. Woohoo! Well, bro, if you live in Thailand, come and visit me. I live in Phuket. Cool, man. We have a fellow Swedish living in Thailand, like myself, on exile, living and enjoying the beautiful weather. It's getting fucking humid at the moment, and I'm in Phuket. So big up, my friend Leo Caesar. If you ever come to Phuket Island, give me a shout out. Yes, here we go. CH27, sign Osimhen and sell Onana. Onana, what a shame. Onana, who's to blame? 100%. Listen, on this channel, we always speak about performance. I don't personally and have any agenda and any place, but if you're not performing well, if you're not fitting in, we're calling it out. And Onana is, in my opinion, not a Man United goalkeeper. Onana was a signing of Erik ten Hag. He was supposed to be a ball-playing goalkeeper. Oh my God, it's been horrendous. Murder madness is what you're saying here was actually madness. It's absolutely ludicrous. It's like mental hospital madness, guys. Anyway, let's dive right into what Ruben Amorim had to say about the overall situation, about Rasmus Hojlund. Directly from the horse's mouth, from the coach, what he thinks. This is the second embargo version of the press conference. Let's bring that to the stage, peep, and enjoy. Have a sip of your coffee and enjoy what Ruben had to say.
On that note, Ruben, I think the club said there was a small issue with Luke Shaw. That was about 2 or 3 weeks ago now. Do you know when he will be back?
No.
Oh,
He's doing his rehab, but we don't have...
Is that Rihanna, rehab? I'm back in rehab. Rehab. Luke Shaw will never play for Manchester United again. He's broken. He's broken. You know, there's no more spare parts that can fix him. 100%. You know, remember they said like, oh, he had a little bit setback, he came back from training, and then he broke down again. So they said in newspaper, they leaked it out to press, he'll be back on Monday. But he is gone. He's gone. Gone Pete Tong. It's all gone Pete Tong. And that is the massive problem for the club. We're paying him, what, 200K a week? Shit a brick.
I have a data for him.
Is that the same with Mason Mount?
Oh, Mason Mount. Mason Mount must be the twin brother of Luke Shaw. Luca Sciaborto and Mason Fount. My God.
Still don't know when he might be back.
No, specifically, no. I think he's closer than Luke Shaw.
What does it mean? Closer than Luke Shaw. That means that in summary, they will not be available for the remaining of the season. Well, why the fuck, excuse my language, did we buy with 1 year left on the contract? We got rinsed by Chelsea. We paid £60 million for Mason Mount. How many games has it appeared for us? People, help me please in the VR room, in the chat room. Can somebody find out how many starts has Mason Mount had for Man United ever since he debuted? I'm dying to know. And we can calculate the ratio. My God.
But we don't have a specific day to return.
Chris. Hi, Ruben. It's almost 3 months now since you spoke to us here and said that the players need to run like mad dogs. Just going back to the question before about Everton on Saturday, are they doing that for you? And if not, why not?
A good question.
No, I think they improved all the data that we have. They improve. We can do much better. I think the confidence sometimes is like they train very well, but at Sunday in the game, I feel that they are not so confident. And
the first half run like mad dogs. There is a damn statistics to show the Manchester United in the Premier League is in the bottom half of intensity and running. Oh my God, we get outran by kilometers. But even I think it was even Leicester. I mean, come on, man. I can't be asked.
Then the game is so hard for them in certain moments that sometimes they want but cannot do it. But like we proved in the last game, we have to play more in like the second half than the first half. So we have.
Yeah, and listen, I'm just going to pause there. Like we got to play more like the second half than the first half. And this is what I've been calling out ever since Ruben Amorim started at Man United. This is what I've been seeing. I've been saying, Ruben, why don't you start the second half team in the first half team whenever you start playing a game? We seem to do this over and over again. We start the worst team. This is kind of the unbalanced team. And then we concede a goal. And then we sort of, suffer in the second half. And you start the best team in the second half. And then we're trying to catch up the game and have a draw or potentially a lucky win at the end of the day, guys. Yes, we have some stats and data from Yolim Amin regarding Mason Mount. I think it was 12 starts, but 32 games in total. Oh my freaking God, Mason Mount. 12 starts in 32 games in total. He's been missing. Can somebody call us the missing person, please? Right, let's continue.
Sometimes it's hard, but we can cope with that and to fight for every ball that we can improve also.
James.
Ruben, obviously there's a lot of fans who probably feel that a lot of staff who feel that they're paying or have paid the price for the failings at the top. And you say we have to understand what we did wrong and think in solutions. How can the staff who are staying here and the fans, though, have any confidence going forward that things will improve, particularly in terms of recruitment?
I mean, I'm sorry, British media, you're absolutely fucking disgrace, right? Asking the question like that, right? So you're trying to frame the manager that it's the player's fault that the staff is getting sacked because we're not playing well, when every single Tom, Dick, and Harry knows the finances and the what led to this is the Glazers, and the Ineos is trying to do the Glazers' dirty deed by cleaning up the mess, and it's trying to say it's the player's fault because of the staff losing. But again, it comes down to it's a product. Like players are like a product, and we consumers of the game, we want to be entertained. And what's the point if you're not playing good football? That's the thing. People keep forgetting, and the ones on top, we are not a business. We're a footballing club. Without the players, without the football, we are nothing.
For 10 years or so now has been particularly poor. how can they have any confidence that it will change? The club will get better at signing players?
I think we need to show. I think we need to show. It's easier for me to be here and say all the pretty stuff. We have to improve the recruitment. I think is crucial. We need to improve the team.
Recruitment.
We need to perform better. We need to be in Europe and not in our position during the season. And that's all. So they are paying the price for.
But we are paying the price. Ruben is paying the price. If they want to be in Europe, why the fuck didn't you back him in January window? Why? You got one signing door, perfect. But that's not enough if you want to be in Europe. You know, that miscalculation from Ineos backfired. And we have an uphill battle. He's super pressured to win Europa League or the FA Cup to get into Europe. We need to win the FA Cup final to get into Europa League. And if we win the Europa League, we get into Champions League. Money in the bank.
Our lack of success. And I cannot say nothing now that is going to convince the fans and all the stuff that we are going to do it. We have an idea. We need to, like you said, I think is for me as a coach, we need to be a better team and to recruit better and don't make a lot of mistakes in that department.
Hi, Ruben. Rasmus Hojlund can divide opinion.
So now we're getting into the Rasmus Hojlund, the thumbnail of our show. Lack of threat. But it's not just lack of threat of Rasmus, lack of threat of Manchester United, because the final third, it is like polishing a turd. You know what I mean? It is absolutely horrendous. You know, we're not scoring goals. We're not firing on all cylinders. And let's hear, because media is going in on Rasmus Hojlund here. But Ruben, as per usual, is coming with a poetic answer. Let's go.
Some people say, yeah, he's not quite good enough to be Manchester number 9. Others say, well, you're not creating enough chances. It's not like he's missing 4 or 5. What's your view of him? Please?
I think he's clear. We as a team, we are not helping Rasmus. We don't create a lot of chances. We had a lack of threats, and you can feel it in the game. Sometimes we are like in the final third, but you don't feel it like we are a very dangerous team. And you feel it also when we are defending a little bit more low. Sometimes the opponent are not afraid of transitions. So I have this feeling also as a coach. So we are not helping also the strikers. I think Rasmus has a lot of potential. I think if we improve the way we play the game, we will have more opportunities to score. I think he came here very young, and when you are very young to be the number 9 and play all the time, sometimes it's hard.
I agree.
So is everything together, is the context. We have to look at Rasmus as a player. He has the pace, he has the technique. He scored some goals that is really hard to score. Sometimes he doesn't choose the better runs. Sometimes he's so anxious to touch the ball because he passes long minutes without the ball, and he moves away from the goal where it's supposed to be, especially in the final third. So we address that in training, but sometimes it has to be the confidence of the player, but especially the way we play.
Yeah, I totally agree. That was the best explanation you can ever get, because there was critique there, but there was also analysis. And 100%, like, he explains that sometimes he's not in the right position because he's so desperate to touch the ball. Yeah, because he doesn't get any service whatsoever. So as a striker, you do everything to get involved in the game, so you kind of get yourself out of position. I know I used to play a winger and sometimes in the striker position. So if you don't get in service, you start getting involved in the game. How can I sort of be part of the team? So I drop down a little deeper, so I'm not really there when the ball comes in, and that has been the problem. But in general has to be. But he said the team needs to help Rasmus, and it's down to chasing down the ball. Like when Ruben Amorim was at Sporting, his striker, which is Victor Gyökeres, they knew exactly. They was passing the ball to his strengths, to his feet. Ping it down to the left channel. He was chase and pick up the ball and use his strengths. You know what I mean? So that is not happening at United at the moment, because everything is just forced out wide. You know, nothing goes in the middle whatsoever at United. If you analyze the game for the past 12 games, we are too afraid to play balls through the middle and through the channels. That's been the overarching problem. And then what's the point of having a striker like, you know, suffering at the moment? And when you are not getting the balls, your confidence is low. And then it becomes clear and obvious that as soon as you receive a first touch, your confidence is not there. It is shambolic, right? Guys, what you're saying here, if Rasmus wants the ball, he needs to drop deeper instead of him. Instead, he wants the body slam of a couple of defenders. Yep, chasing the ball, it is the way it is. Let's continue what Ruben has to say. But look, it is kind of sad because a lot of fans are already like, you know, sell him. He's not good enough. And he's not really proven himself as yet. We've seen the potential. But again, I back the tape what I said. He's never supposed to be the leading goal scorer, the leading number 9. And it's so difficult at the age of 21 to be the senior figure.
In training, does he show that he can be a lethal finisher, you know, very ruthless?
Yes.
Yeah, we've seen it.
I see it in training because the exercise also, we make exercise near the goal, and he has the ability, and he already show here. But I think it's more a team thing than Rasmus thing. If we improve, Rasmus will improve, and I have that feeling.
Rasmus, I like how it says Rasmus. All right, cool.
I just wondered, how are you feeling amidst all of this, with the redundancies being made, the results, the projection for the summer transfer market being difficult? You know, you're an emotional guy, right? How have you been coping with all this?
I have empathy for everybody, but that is easy for everybody to feel empathy with all the situation that occur here. And then the second feeling is that I need to improve also my job. And you want to improve to help everybody, the board, Omar, doing these transitional moments. And then I'm trying to feel all the time positive because I'm the manager and I know the staff is always looking at me. So I took a lot of energy for giving that hope for them to be positive, energetic all the time, that I'm trying to do my job the best I can to help all the club.
Just on Patrick, sorry, he touched the ball second most to Bruno in the Everton game. It looked like a lot of teammates were looking to him to pass to him. Is that a good thing in that you've got a new play here, or is that a kind of perhaps a negative?
We're talking about Patrick Dorgo. He's been mint. You know, Patrick Dorgo is still. We haven't seen the best of Patrick Dorgo. Like second start in Man United shirt, he's being a little bit like, and he started to cook. He started to warm up, but I'm super impressed with Patrick Dorgo so far.
The thing, because you want the team to be spread across, and 20 years old, third game, it's quite a lot to
No, but sometimes depend of the space where the space is in the game, so we use it more often. I think I'm happy with Patrick because he has the abilities that we look for him during the when I see him and Lecce. And he has the physicality, he has the technique. He's playing better on the left side, like you guys said.
He does.
He has a lot to improve. But the good thing is that in the difficult moment, you can see good things in Patrick, and that's what you want when you recruit players. So we address that issue.
Thank God he recognized Patrick Dorgo is better on the left-hand side. Yeah. But what happened in last game is that in second half, he switched him over to the right-hand side. So Patrick Dorgo is a multifaceted player. Like he can play as a number 10, and what Jarvis was saying in the stream, he can play as a midfield, he can play as a left wing back, and he can play as a right wing back. So versatile player.
About recruitment, we are very happy with him.
Yeah, me too. Good signing.
You've already talked before about the pressure of playing here. Managers who have been here in the past have talked about the weight of the shirt. But when you're in a situation where people are losing your jobs, you're having to sit in front of us and talk about added responsibility and added pressure that's coming with that. Is that not an environment that's making it really, really hard for some of these players, particularly very young players, to play and perform and to be themselves?
I think we need to see these players. I'm not saying that is a bad thing, but the players don't feel that too much. They have one life. They live in a bubble. It's completely different for them than is for me, for Andrew, for everybody in the club. So they are not feeling that pressure. They feel the pressure of they need to win in Manchester United. And every time we lose and every time they don't perform, there's a lot of people in social media, in the newspaper that are putting a lot of pressure. And then they go to the pitch, to the training, and they try to fix things, not in the good way, like thinking too much and not playing the way they're supposed to play. So in that department, they don't feel that pressure of people losing their job. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. They are young kids that live in a different world, but they suffer a different pressure, and sometimes it's harder.
Well, hang on. Like, of course, players are never going to lose their jobs. Yeah, they're under contract, like 3 years, 5 years. They're never going to lose the jobs. If they do a stinker on the pitch, they're still going to have the job. You know what I mean? And yeah, if your mentality is like you can't handle the pressure, and then you should really look yourself in the mirror, to be honest. And yes, this generation tend to sort of get affected by they read their own social media. Yeah, I understand, but winning at United at Old Trafford is a prerequisite. It's a must, you know. That's part of our DNA. That's part of our culture. But lately we have been losing a lot of games at Old Trafford, and it's down to the mentality. It's down to the pressure, because you can see that nobody really wants the ball. They're hiding from the ball. Nobody wants to be scrutinized because everyone seems to think about their own image. And this is kind of the root cause of the way I see it. So if they do well in a closed environment at Carrington and training pitch, they seem to do fantastic. You know, everyone's been saying that. Benny McCarthy was saying that. But as soon as they walk out of Old Trafford, everything goes out the window. They get, I don't know, man. This has been a nomination problem for the couple of, at least under Ten Hag as well.
The other people are talking about them all the time, all the friends, social media, former players, etc. And they take it so personally. And sometimes it's really hard for them to turn things around.
So in general, like everyone is talking about the ex-players, the pundits having opinion. Everyone is shitting on them on United. I get it. But that's the price you pay for being a Man United player. The most loved and adored club, but also hated club in the world, where a lot of people want to see us fail, and they're afraid of us getting back to the top.
Last question, Richard.
Last question, people.
Yeah, hi Ruben. Last year, Sir Jim Ratcliffe spoke about how he wanted people at Manchester United to be best in class and
oh my God,
10s. And you'll obviously see behind the scenes which people are really good at their jobs. I mean, does that make you worry that some of these 10 out of 10 people who are really good could be some of the ones who might go?
No, I'm not worried about that. I'm just focused on my job. That is clear. And like I said, if you watch our team, we have a lot to improve in my department. So I'm just focused on improving my performance here in the club. Then that part we have a lot of people making that assess that in all departments, the best people to stay and all the people that has to go. So I'm just focused on my part, and I have to improve my performance as a manager of this club.
And that's it, people. That was Ruben Amorim speaking about Rasmus Hojlund. And, you know, I just don't like this best in class because, you know, I've been thinking about it because this year for Ineos has been just focusing on assembling the Ocean's 11, you know, the best in class of Ocean's 10, if you like movie titles. Yeah. It's all about building the structure, and they forgot about the pitch, about the team. So potentially what I'm hoping for is now that it's fixed. They did a mistake with Dan Ashwood. They got rid of him. They appointed Christopher Vevell just on a permanent basis, which is fantastic for the recruitment. So that indication alone that they actually appointed Christopher Vevell as a recruitment manager, head of recruitment, means that the summer window will be more exciting. And the priority now will be the summer window. How are we going to do business? You know what? I've spoken about this in the many past streams before. We do have sell-on fees, like 50% on Greenwood. Looks like he's going to be sold. We have 50% of Alvaro Fernandez. Rashford will potentially be much, much easier to sell in the summer. Anthony is showing his value there, so he's probably also going to be sold. There's ways we can do it. But At the moment, I think it's too early for us to go into the transfer window and talk because it's irrelevant at the moment, right? The links that we're getting, Quenda, Osman, it's just a lot of spin for now, right? Let that begin when the season finished. Then we can sort of talk about what we need and don't need. What's more important right now is to sort of embed the youngsters in the academy players that are getting minutes on the bench, see what they're all about, yeah? Give them some few minutes here and there. Come pre-season, you know who's good to be part and integrated in the first team. And that sort of kind of affects what you can go and recruit in the summer, in my opinion. But anyway, I want to hear your thoughts and feelings. We have Jarvis Coffee coming in. Good morning, Jarvis. How are you doing? And Leo is also saying, I wonder how Rasmus would do as a midfielder. I bet he will do better than Casemiro. Yeah, Casemiro, God, that leads us into the starting 11, by the way. I don't really know. Boxing straight talk, Hojlund is too isolated, but is this isolating himself? Should be dropping in and getting 2-1-2 passes and get to into the box 100%. Sorry, I'm a little bit dyslexic trying to read this out, So do you think Amorim regrets taking the United job? He could have been preparing for UCL football instead of this relegation battle and the criticism and scrutiny. You're in it to win it, 100%, you're in it to win it. Did they lie to him? Potentially. They went down there to Portugal to convince him. We all know that he said, can I come humbly after I finish here, the season? They could have done that, but no, they say, you come now. You come now. And they must have promised something. But, however, it is what it is, and here we are, sink or swim, yeah? Speaking about that, Paul Lucas is saying, if you have time to think on the pitch, it means you held the ball too long. Yeah, 100%. If you know what to do, you don't need to think. 100%, 100%. Just jumping into some of your comments. Rob Tuff is here, big up legend, Rob Tuff as well. The chances of us being in Europa next season is slim, but we can do it. I hope. Hopium. Jordan Walls from Sweden. We have a lot of Swedish people tuning in. How are you doing? And we're doing fine like red wine. Glinius out, what you are saying. We're going to transition over today's game, peeps. I haven't really prepared my starting 11. I want to sort of free flow and interact with you guys. So please get your lineup in. What do you think? I'm going to sort of give my thoughts who I think will start. Let's start with the back, with the goalkeeper. We don't have any other else. It's going to be Onana and goal. God help us. I heard something that Mazarawi had a little bit knock on his knee, so I don't think he will be ready. So I think the backline would be Lenny Euro, De Ligt, Harry Maguire. I'm sorry, Harry Maguire will start, right? Last time I was laughing, you remember that 1-0 goal when we played air flip ball, bing, bing. Yeah, so yeah, this is shambolic. So I think it will be Lenny Euro on the left, Harry Maguire in the middle. Maybe, yeah, De Ligt on the right. Midfield pairing, I don't want to see Casemiro. Never want to see him again. Why play him? And we suffer when he played because we are basically a gaping hole, and Bruno had to drop down deep and cover for him. So do not start Casemiro. Please, Ruben, do not start Casemiro. The injury updates, of course, Collie is not ready. Who do we have? I would start Ugarte and potentially give Seko Kone a debut, right? I would. Ugarte has to start as the number 6. Potentially Ugarte Bruno. And as number 10s, I see on the left number side 10, start Garnacho, and right number 10, Xerxes, wingbacks Dorgu, and of course we don't have any options, so we have to play Dalot on the right and Rasmus Hojlund up front. That'd be my lineup, I would say. Did you see the latest of Osman's rumors? That was 95%. No, can you enlighten us? Is there any latest? Because the latest I saw there was that we are looking to swap Hojlund towards Osman. If you believe, you believe. And some Turkish outlets been adamant to say it's 95%. Jarvis is saying, for me, the most important is who plays left centre back. And for me, the left centre back, Jarvis, is Lenny Euro. You know, he's been the one deputizing when Martin has been out. He's got the pace. He's got the ability to drive the ball forward, to carry the ball forward. So Lenny, you're on the left-hand side, should be my choice. Or potentially, maybe Heaven, you know what I mean? But it's too early. He hasn't really been given a debut. But we're playing Ipswich, okay? The relegation team. So you could gamble a little bit. I don't know. Maz looks to be match fit. But would you risk him? The thing is that we are playing Europa League, so I wouldn't risk him, right? I will rest him. We need him for the Europa League. Save the power for the Europa League. Everything that you got right now, because Premier League is over. Use Premier League as a training ground, right? So who would you line up, people? I said that, you know, Onana has to start. Lenny Euro. It will be Dogo, Lenny Euro, Maguire, and De Ligt. Then it would be like Bruno with Ugarte. And then on the top, the two pivot number 10s will be Xerxes and Garnacho and Hojlund on top. Second half substitutions, I see Hojlund coming off for Obi Martin. Potentially we get to see Sekakone come in as a substitution. I think it's time, Ruben, that you start introducing more minutes for the players on the bench. Jarvis Cocker, the tactical devils, say Mazarawi or Euro on the left. Even Heaven is a shout, but not De Ligt. Why not De Ligt? Has he regressed, in your opinions? He hasn't been the best in form. Ipswich is motivated. If they win, they are the one to win other relegation zone. Yes, and don't they have Delap, what's his name? Delap as well, the potent striker. Is it Delap from Ipswich? I think it is, guys. Jarvis is saying if he starts De Ligt on the left, I'll be very disappointed. Me too, man. As I said, my strongest bet is to play Lenny Euro or Heaven there, but Heaven hasn't really had a debut as of yet. Yolomamin is saying, I see Delap red card. The dude is an 8 yellow cards so far this season. He collects them in a Hannibal pace. Yeah, 100%, my friend. 100%. So in terms of my score prediction, of course, Delap will kind of been the surprise of the season. And is there a player that I want United to sign? Not as a first choice striker. You know, I've been saying it so many times. We need a senior striker. Get me a Hojlund. Get me either Gyökeres or get me an Osimhen. Please, please, please. We cannot get another experimental up-and-coming striker. That's not going to work. I like Mazarawi in the back three. Me too, my friend, but on the right-hand side. Anyway, my score prediction, I think we're going to get a win today. That's my endorphins, hopium, copium saying at the moment. But will it be a struggle? Yeah, I think so. I think that we will still have a rocky road start in the first half. Again, what Ruben was saying in this embargo section, the players feel the pressure as soon as they walk out to Old Trafford. Man, just put some noise cancellation headsets on them, right? And just do your best. What do I expect? Well, I expect a performance that we kind of saw in the 72nd minute against Spurs, right? Listen, no, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really care. I want to see good performance. I want to see excitement. I want to see youth being introduced. Like, you know, I want to see that. Kaylee Farmer is saying Hugo Etike would be a dream signing. Potentially. But are we linked to him? Guys, beautiful people, thank you for tuning in. My score prediction, I'm not going to jinx it. But if I have a punt, I go safe. I go Ruby Classic. If you don't know about Ruby Classic, if you've got to learn the term. Ruby Classic is a 3-1 to Manchester United. My heart says 2-1, a scrappy 2-1. But my love for the club and this team is Ruby Classic 3-1. And the dream scenario would be the winning goal will be a score from Chido Obi Martin. Then the script is perfect for the endorphins, people. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. We do have a running poll before I close it off. I just want to thank everyone for tuning in this morning. I hope you enjoyed the show. I try to be a little bit more positive because, you know, to be a Man United fan today is so negative and toxic. Listen, I did a poll. Do you want to sell Rasmus Hojlund in this summer? There was 3 options. There was yes, sell him, no, keep him for development, and third choice was loan. And the judge and jury believes that he's not good enough. 52% says yes, sell him. 39% says no, keep him. And only 9% loan. Close the poll, peeps. And I would just like to thank each and everyone for tuning in today. And the most important aspect of this is the free content. YouTube works in a mysterious way. It's about 70% ratio likes. If you watch this in retrospective, give us a little bit likes, and also leave a comment in the non-live comment section. What do you think? You know, what do you think the club needs to do with Hojlund, with everything that's going on? It's a free, open channel. Like treat it as your Wonderwall, like, you know, and write whatever you want. Because this is our church. This is where we come to heal our hurts. This is MUFC Realist TV. Before we close this shop, my colleague, my partner in crime, Jarvis, is saying personal. If we sign a striker, I will go for Ivan Nilsson or at Bournemouth. He looks really good. Jarvis knows his football. But as I said, MUFC Realist TV is always here for you. You know, win, lose, draw. This is our church, and this is where you can come here to heal your hurts. Thank you for watching, beautiful people, and we should see you for the match day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in a bit.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.
Chido Obi Martin to score the 3-1 winning goal. That wouldn't be something, would it? Yes.